Guides here, everybody, with just a quick look at the WarZ gameplay footage. For those that don't know, the WarZ is a pretty controversial zombie game that was announced back in May. And after months of screenshots and not really that much information, we finally have some gameplay footage. Now, I really don't have anything against games or the companies that make them, but all the gameplay footage here feels kind of scripted and acted out. But I'm not really going to go into that, just sort of watch the footage yourself, keeping that in mind, and you'll sort of see what I mean. So just for this video, we're going to just look at the interface, at the graphics, at all the different parts of WarZ. Now, I think that they had promised that there'd be a third-person view, but here we only see the first-person view of the game. Right off the bat, it looks very similar to Modern Warfare 3 or to Battlefield, complete with aiming down the sights and all that jazz. Picking up items in the WarZ seems to be a lot simpler than what it was in Arma 2. It looks like all you have to do is walk up to the item and hold E and you'll pick it up in a second or two. Vehicles have also kind of been hush-hush with the game. I think it's pretty much safe to say that they're probably not going to be there even in the beta.
Well, I can really use some water and food because I'm running low on that.
So in the bottom left-hand corner, it looks like here's our character's health and their hunger and thirst meters. It's kind of good to see it in a bar instead of something that you have to kind of calculate it as. And as they promised, you're not going to be able to run around non-stop like you can in other games. You're going to have to actually slow down, as you can sort of see by the stamina bar that appears here for a couple of seconds. So you have a quick inventory selection menu at the bottom, and it looks like if you have slots that are empty, anything that you pick up will automatically go to one of the empty slots. And it looks like you don't have to wait for lengthy animations to switch between the items. You'll see this a bit later on when he switches from one gun to the other. Now this is just like a little pet peeve of mine, but as he goes over to pick up some items, it tells him in the right side that he picked up a new item, and then it adds it to the inventory, and I hope that it can be turned off in the game settings. Here we get a look at the inventory screen, and I think they had actually forgot to record the mouse input because you can't really see the cursor here. But it looks like to use the item, you either click or right click the item to get in another sub-menu to go ahead and use that item. Also, you can see here that the reflex sight and the silencer looks to be separate add-ons for the gun that he's currently using, and it looks like you might be able to actually trade them to other players. So the top part of the inventory, we can see that the 1 and 2 slots on our quick inventory are taken by the primary and secondary weapons, and that slots 3, 4, 5, and 6 count as our on-hand inventory. All the slots below that look to be your bag inventory, and since there aren't any secondary or primary weapons in here, we don't know yet how many slots those take. Also, there's this huge change backpack button, and maybe that means that you can have more than one bag. In the bottom right hand side of the screen, we can see the amount of bullets left in the current magazine, as well as any additional magazines that he currently has. So the last part of the known interface is the upper right hand side of the screen. That of course seems to signify how well the zombies can see and hear you. So here they have their guy kind of go through the window. I don't know what they're trying to showcase, if they're trying to show that you can crawl or jump through the window. You don't really get to know. And that's sort of something that's lacking in this video. You don't really see any of the animations, and because you're not in third-person view, you don't see if your character has any animations. You don't get to see if the person that he's talking to has any walking animations. In fact, you don't even really see the zombie animations. You see a little bit of it at the end, but it's only for a few frames, and since everything's at night, you don't really get to see anything. And I don't see why you would do it at night when you can't see all the textures, can't see all the trees, can't see the distance. It's just everything's very dark, and it seems kind of shrouded. So forgetting all that, earlier here they had mentioned that they had seen some blood on the wall, so I guess that there will be visual indicators if there are other zombies nearby. He picks up a backpack here, and I'm assuming that it goes right to his inventory, so it does look like you'll be able to pack a backpack into your other backpack, or maybe again you can hold more than one backpack. And here he takes a look at his friend, but again, you don't see any other animations and you don't really see a close-up. And he's about to have another firefight with some zombies over here, where you get to see a bit more animation, but again, it's lacking and it's nighttime. And then he switches to a gun that doesn't have a flashlight, so you don't really see the zombie running up on him until it's very close, and he takes a couple shots and takes it down. So that's my quick look at the WarZ gameplay footage. Again, take it all with a grain of salt. It is in alpha mode, and thus still an unreleased game, so we'll just have to wait until the beta when we all can play to see what it's like.